Trying to figure out what to do with my deer venison meat from last year. Really quick, easy cuts to somehow turn it into something edible. So I cleaned this up and froze it last year, and now it's time to cut it up into small chunks. And I think the easiest way to make this work is I'm going to grind it up, probably about 80% meat, and then I got to add some fat content, so about 20% bacon. Easiest way to grind it, I have a 575 watt meat grinder. I did have the handheld one, but this works a lot better. You start grinding up meat with the handheld one. It takes a lot of work, a lot of energy, and this little device here that I picked up for probably right around 500 bucks, 400 bucks. It's well worth it. Here's my bacon ends that I picked up at the local grocery store. Last time I picked up bacon ends, it actually looked like bacon. It was sliced. This is more chunked, but I think it'll work well. It smells good when I pulled it out. So again, I'm going to use 80% venison deer meat and about 15-20% bacon ends, just to add some fat content to it and turn this. I'm going to give it a coarse grind through the grinder and turn it into some type of burger style meat that I can make some sausage, 2 different types of sausage with it. Get the stuffer working. I always forget to cut the chunks to the right size to get that to punch through. Trying to keep everything nice and clean, so we're just grinding it through onto a tray here and get this first coarse grind through everything. That's what I had left. 2 big tubs and 2 big bowls and a tray of meat. Went to the local meat department and I was looking for some type of casing. I didn't want to buy the stuff off the rack. This is natural casing that they use in the meat department at the grocery store. Comes with a nice little blue applicator so you can put it in the grinder. I'll show you that later here, but want to wash it up and let it soak in water, so I did that while I'm going to add my spice mixture to my meat. I'm going to make 2 types of sausage. One calls for adding a little bit of regular ground beef into it, so I'm going to add that. Some really basic spices here: onion powder, black peppercorns, mustard seed, garlic powder, some Kir. And then I have a bag of this just home-style farmer sausage seasoning and some quick salt to add to it. And then I want some type of smoked flavor to it, and I'm not smoking it, so I found this works really good, that chipotle sauce in the bag. So the first one I'm going to do here, this is a summer sausage style recipe. I added that burger meat to it there, and I'm going to put the actual measurements into the description of this video. So like I said, a little bit of burger meat. We're adding some garlic powder, onion powder, half a teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon, some black pepper into there, some mustard seed, red pepper. I found some red pepper in the cupboard, so I'm going to add that, see what that does. There's my mustard seed there. That works really well. I like adding the mustard seed. The measurements I was going by, there's the chipotle sauce. That's going to give it that nice smoked flavor. The measurements I was going by, the instructions that I found on the internet, I put it in there, but then I kind of just used my judgment. If it didn't look like it had enough spice, I just added more, and that's how I cook, and I seem to have success with that. A little bit of Kir into there, and then this bowl's ready to go. We're going to mix it all together, and then the instructions actually called for putting it into the fridge and letting it kind of marinate or soak all the spices in for 24 hours. So now what I have left is a couple tubs left, and I'm going to turn this into just a farmer style sausage. So again, I'm going to add that spice that you see in there. That was a pre-made spice. I'm going to add the mustard seeds into there. That chipotle sauce. Again, my measurements are just kind of, yeah, that looks about right. I think that'll taste good, so seems to work well for me. Here's my casing. It's kind of washed up and soaked in cold, cool water. Like I said, that little blue applicator makes it really handy to put onto the sausage stuffer of the meat grinder. So this works really well. Get everything put onto there. I bought one of these to start off with, and then the amount of meat that I was grinding, I actually had to go down and pick up another one halfway through. So there I am all set up. I've got everything nice and clean, and we were pushing some sausage through. I have to get a helper at this point to do that. There's my meat mixture up here. It was really, I could tell the bacon in there. It was really sticky and greasy up top, so that's a good sign. We've got our meat sealer over here so that we can vacuum seal everything when we're done. Like I said, we needed a little bit of help here to push this all through. And this took, I thought it was going to take about 45 minutes to do all that, but just the way it went, it was an hour and 45 by the time we stuffed all the sausage, and we had about 6 to 8 bags Added some cheese, just put some mozzarella cheese into one because I thought, oh, this much sausage, I better start to make something different. And then we vacuum sealed it with the vacuum sealer, and it worked really well. So now we can freeze all this. It's going to stay good. If I want to pull it out at the campfire this summer, I can just basically put this in a frying pan and cut it up and serve it, and be a nice little treat. It's time to make supper after grinding all that meat. I've got to actually make something for supper. There's my little loaf, my summer sausage loaf, frying pan out. I need something to go with it, so really easy. Put the potatoes through the potato French fry maker. Throw them in a bowl, add a little bit of oil. This is the simplest way to make French fries. Put them on the tray, 400 degrees in the oven, while I fry up my sausage. They take about an hour in there, and like I said, I like doing it that way because then I can add the amount of salt and the amount of oil that goes into them and keep them somewhat healthy for the kids. A little bit of cheese mixture here. Again, I did put that into one of those sausage links. Sweet onion for cooking, and this is going to be really simple in the frying pan. Try this sausage out and see if my spice mixture is going to work out fine. So I got the first one cooking. This one was without cheese. Looked really good. Took about 10-15 minutes. Really easy to overcook deer meat. So just got to keep an eye on it, but that bacon content worked really well, and as well keeping everything kind of a little bit fatty. Here's the summer sausage. So this got baked in the oven, wrapped in tin foil at 325 degrees for an hour and a half. I poked holes in the bottom of the tin foil and then put a drip pan underneath there. And this is a summer style sausage. It's more spicier. There's more spice in here than this style of sausage here. So that'll be good to serve on crackers and tasted really well. Here's the one with the cheese. I can see the cheese mixture in it. And here's the finished product. Got my French fries out, little poutine, some carrots, and my deer sausage. Worked really well. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. I'll have more cooking videos to come.